What's up, guys? Welcome to Sharpen Your Sword podcast, episode 23, the Jordan episode. Today's episode, guys, is Chillin with the Homies talk. So we've done this before, and today we're just sitting around the table, guys, and we're talking. We're answering some questions that you guys got, talking about some debates, talking about politics, conspiracies, whatever it is that comes to mind. We're going to talk about it today, and we're going to just have fun and make it a fun podcast for you guys. But first, I want to start off by saying thank you guys for all the support, the likes, the share, comments. This is what gets our podcast out there, okay? We can't do it without you guys. So it may seem like it's something small for you to leave a like or a comment, but that means the world to us, okay? So please like us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you don't mind, share our posts so we can get more people following and keeping up with us, so we can put more content out there. And like always, guys, I have the number one co-host in the world, Giovanni Jimenez.
Howdy, howdy.
And one of my goofy friends, Ben Nguyen. He's been on here before, so what's up, guys?
Hey, I came a long way from the Wild West to be here, so I'm excited for this.
Blood. I don't know what gladiator to say.
He says, what you do in life echoes in eternity.
Yeah. Amen.
All right, guys, so we're chilling around the table. We decided to do something different, something fun. I didn't want to go overboard like these guys. We got a Mexican cowboy, a caballero, right?
Yeah.
And want to be gladiator, maybe gladiator 2 over here.
I'm auditioning for them.
You're auditioning?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think you're going to make it.
No, I don't think so either.
And I just got my Sharpen Your Sword podcast hat on, guys, and my shades. By the way, Sharpen Your Sword hats are on sale. T-shirts, joggers are in, guys. So if you want some joggers, there's some nice quality joggers. Zippers on the sides, zipper back pocket. Very comfy. Not trying to sell you right now. And hoodies and windbreakers.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. So some people have told me, and with this hat, okay? Some people have told me with this hat that I look like a thug. Do I look normal or do I look mean?
You look like somebody that sharpens a sword every day.
Good. Gio.
I don't know, should I say it?
And if you laugh like that, you shouldn't say it. But guys, we're gonna get straight into it. So where do you guys want to start? And guys, listen, I want to say this. We're gonna be on some crazy topics today, and I'm the believer. This is my belief, right? I don't judge nobody. Okay. Maybe if you're a very close friend of mine, then maybe I'll judge you a little bit, okay? But I don't judge nobody. So I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what you follow. I don't care what you do. I don't care about anything that you do, honestly. I have too much going on, right? I have too much things to strive for. I have too many things to achieve. I don't have time to judge you. I don't have time to put up with people's crap, right? So you do you, okay? That's my whole point. In today's talk, we're going to just say what we think. Does that mean that we don't like you? No, that doesn't mean that we don't like you. We're just giving our 2 cents the way we view it. Now, we accept everyone, okay? And it doesn't matter what's your religion, doesn't matter what your beliefs, doesn't matter what you identify as. I don't give a damn, okay? That's the truth. As long as you're a good person and you don't try to throw it all over people, okay? You be you. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you what I believe. You can either agree or disagree, but I don't need to go down that hole of, keyboard warriors, all right? Like I said, I like everybody. I respect everybody's point of view, but I don't have to agree with it, all right? Y'all ready to get after it?
Let's do it.
Where do we want to start?
Let's talk about the Olympics. So backstory, if you don't know, the Olympics happening in Paris, and then apparently they were like mocking like the Last Supper, a painting of the Last Supper of Jesus, and mocking it like characters that are mocking them, right? I think there was even this guy who had his testicles out, right? Somebody caught it.
What?
What?
Yeah, he had his testicles out, right?
Like legit, or is it like a
A dildo?
Oh, it looked legit. Like, I mean, it was skin. I mean, it was like my skin color, So pretty much they were just
Gio was looking hard.
it was just
Do you
no,
zoom in?
it popped up on my Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Zoom in. How you know it's just?
It popped up on the LGBTQ page I follow. I'm just playing. But so the backstory, they're just making a mockery of Jesus in the Last Supper, right? And so there's a lot of controversy. Christians are pissed off. You know, religious people that believe in Christ are very upset about it, and they're talking about boycotting it.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know? And so that's a big thing. What do you guys think? Do you think it just happened like that, or do you think there's intentions behind it?
So I want to start off by saying this, okay? Because not just Christians. I know some Muslim people, they've made some comments. Some Muslim athletes and stuff like that, and they commented like disgusting. We shouldn't have the Olympics there. And it's not just Christians that did it, right? Now the majority that are upset are Christians, okay? But like I said, the Muslims have commented and are upset with it too. Because for us, and this is for Christianity too, you don't play with the religion. Mm-hmm. Now this has become a normal thing in today's society. But like, I'm not Christian. I have majority Christian friends, right? I have a lot of Christian friends, but I still respect the religion, right? I can't just not respect it, right? And so I have I run by a code, right? Everybody has a code. One of my codes is like, don't talk bad about religion. I don't have to agree. What do you practice, if you don't mind me asking?
Christianity.
Okay, you practice Christianity. I'm not gonna, trash Christianity. I'm not gonna talk bad about it. Okay? And I'm not going to talk about Judaism, about Hinduism, about whatever it is. I'm not. Like, part of me is you don't talk bad about religion. Okay? And so that's a red line that people have crossed. And people, and I've seen, and I want to ask you a question here in a minute, but people, I didn't comment on this on purpose because I need to know more, right? I don't know the exact thing, right, in the religious, but it's not an excuse, right? But people are commenting and it's like, what's wrong? It's art. Like, somebody said that. I'm like, are you effing crazy? Like, what do you mean it's art? You don't play with the religion as art.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what you do. You want to play art with something else, that's fine, but you don't play with the religion as art. Like, let's create an art, and you have, I don't know what they were, but they were like naked, pretty much, some people.
Yeah, some of them.
You know what I mean? And so, for me, that's the red line. You don't do that. Like, that's super disrespectful. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. You don't mess with somebody's religion. You know what I mean? You don't talk about it. You don't. I don't even think like you even. For me, it's like you don't even act out certain things.
Yeah.
Like, some people like I have to say astaghfirullah, like what we say in our religion, like God forgive us or something along those lines, like people portray like God, for example. Mm-hmm. Like, people have drawn, like they said, have they drawn? And I'm like, bro, how you draw God?
Yeah,
you can't do that. Or they want to make a movie of like and for me, this is, I think, also red line, like Jesus, and there's somebody acting like Jesus. I'm like, bro, but you're not Jesus. You know what I mean? That for me, like, some people may look at me like extreme, but it's a movie, bro. But for me, it's like you don't even play with that stuff in religion. Like, you have to respect it to the T. Doesn't matter what religion. And so I'm upset with the fact that people are trying to make it seem like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, why are you guys freaking out? It's just an opening ceremony. Like, this, like, they don't mean no harm by it. No, like, look what you did. Like, look at the picture. You know what I mean? And so somebody commented, and I see their points, right? Somebody commented and was like, we shouldn't like boycott them and cancel the Olympics because we have American athletes competing at the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to take that shine away from them and ruin it for them. Which I get that to a certain extent. But I think the line was crossed with that. But can you, like, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I know, right? And this is not an excuse, but I want to know what they try to portray. Like the Last Supper.
What was the symbol for?
Like, what is in the religion? What is the symbol for? Let's start there, and I guess we can go from there. But I'm just asking just to know, because I'm ignorant in this fact, the Last Supper. I've heard it, right? And people have talked about it, but I don't know exactly what this is.
Yeah. So the Last Supper is very significant because it was like, it was the last time Jesus was with his disciples before he got killed, and so in the Last Supper he gives like the bread and wine, right? And he says like, this is my body, this is my blood, this is my flesh. He like, I give it to you, right? And then I know in Catholicism, like they repeat that same ceremony, right? In every mass, And the Christians do it too in a different way, right? But they eat and drink the body of Jesus, right? And so this is big symbolism. This is big and just a tradition, right? When it comes to Jesus. And it's big because it also, this kind of like the beginning of the end, right? Because after this is when he gets killed, then he dies, gets crucified, resurrects, right? And then the whole Christians believe that because Jesus died and resurrected, right? That's why we believe in Christ, because our salvation is through him, right? And so this is a big step in Jesus' life, right? And then pretty much they're just making a mockery. That's what it is. They're making a mockery of it. And so that's what's really upsetting people, you know, because people take it serious and they believe it. And obviously you don't make light of things that you believe.
Yeah, and I mean, like when it comes to religion, you don't, like, you have the full right to be upset with it. You know what I'm saying? I was upset the fact that I'm not Christian, right? I'm upset with the fact that people try to just brush it off, like, hey, what's the big deal? Like, chill out.
Yeah.
It's like somebody jokes, like these days, like people would joke about, like you see them to joke about somebody's mom or somebody's wife. And I'm like, bro, you don't, like, that's not something you joke about. Like, you can get killed over that.
Yeah.
And you get your ass whooped over that. You know what I'm saying? And so people
that's
make
a
like,
lack of control.
huh?
I think that's a lack of control.
I don't think that's a lack of control, right? Because I decide whether I'm going to whoop your tail or not, right? But if I...
But why you let an external factor involve, makes you do something that you shouldn't be doing?
You know, it's funny. I gave him this talk over a year and a half. And he's coming back.
I'm I'm so confused on, like, what happened with the Last Supper. Like, in the Olympic, why would the Olympic have something to do with the Last Supper? I don't get, like, that was the opening ceremony?
Yeah, it was part of the opening ceremony. I don't know. Good question. I don't know why they did that.
So was it like everybody just was eating something?
They were like, so there was this painting, right? There's this painting which I didn't know existed really.
And apparently,
I see that. It's like a big table.
Drag queens that did it, right?
Yeah, there was. I think the main character was like this person in blue, and
He said main character.
She was a big lady. God
So
bless her.
I'm pulling up the picture so you can see.
So it just made a mockery, you know. It's as if in like in Islam they paint a picture of Muhammad, right? It's like, bro, like, you ain't supposed to do that. You know, you don't mock, or they mock in Buddha, you know. Mm-hmm. But I have a theory of why they do these things.
What is your theory?
My theory is they do these things because, so obviously one of it is they push the line, right? They push the boundaries, right? And then they're just kind of testing how far can I push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Right? And also I think they do it because whoever they are, right, who want to control the people, control the population, they are against religion, because if you believe in religion, you have a set of values, you believe in something. Mm-hmm. But if they talk down on religion, they make a mockery of religion, right? And they make you feel like religion is, you're kind of dumb for doing it, you're brainwashed for doing it. Then they want to discourage you from religion, because as they say, if you don't believe in something, you believe in everything. And so they want you to believe what they want you to believe, you know, just to be brainwashed and sheep and to believe what they want. But you found those people that have a belief and set of goals, you can't just trick them so easy. You can't just make them break the moral code. But when they don't believe in something, then it's easy to sway those people. That's my theory, why they attack religion so much and make a mockery out of it.
You know, I agree with you to that. I was actually talking to somebody. I've been having a lot of these talks with people because people are like seeing what's going on in Palestine, you know, and they're asking about the religion, and they're like, well, it doesn't make sense that they paint Muslims as terrorists or bad people, but every time we meet somebody, they're not what people say they are, right? Mm-hmm. And like I had a talk with somebody a few months ago, and like in the Muslim countries, the Arab countries, we run by the religion, right? And this is just my 2 cents. Now we're going down another rabbit hole, and it may may ruffle some feathers. And I was telling them, I said, like, okay, America's arguably the greatest country in the world. Now we got a lot of crap going on today.
Yeah.
Are we free like they say that we're free? I don't think that the way it was back in the day, not anymore, because I can't say what I want to say.
Well, you don't get confused with freedom of speech, but with society cancel culture. right? I think we can still say whatever we want to say, but we tread carefully because of cancel culture. You don't want to be canceled, and it sucks. I disagree on cancel culture because of that. You can't even express how you feel, right? As long as you're not inflicting any violence on any other human being, you should say whatever you want to say,
I agree.
even
You
if it's
should.
the most wildest thing,
Yeah.
right? People will
But-
just look you crazy,
But
but
the truth is, you can't. You can't say what you want.
not because the
You
law
you
forbid
should.
us.
No. The law per se doesn't forbid you.
Exactly. So
Not well. They're changing it.
I don't know.
They're changing some things.
Not
right?
say, not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw some stuff the other day.
They're changing some stuff, right? I don't want to necessarily say it. Like I did say I'm going to say a lot of stuff, but I still got to remember that I'm on a platform where people can see what I say. A lot of people can see what I say, so I got to still tread carefully. But anyway, we were talking about this, and they were like, well, you know, the great thing about this country was it's not from the church, right? It's not a religious nation.
Yeah.
Like, it's not run by the church.
It's a secular nation.
You know, and I don't necessarily disagree. That's probably part of why the United States become the United States. You know, it has different religions, different people, different backgrounds, different beliefs, and stuff like that. But I think this is my 2 cents. Okay, this is my 2 cents. I think this was by design. Like, you don't have to force Christianity down everybody's throats, right? This is a Christian nation, right? Probably for the majority.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But like the South, it was very Christian based. Schools, you know, Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, that's not Christianity, right? But Christian values. Doesn't matter that they don't have to say Christian, but it was Christian values, right? Religious values. Things we do, things we don't do. Things that are allowed, things are not allowed. This is right, this is wrong. Okay? And so the Olympics, that's wrong. Right?
Yeah.
So like you said, they're diluting it, or they're ruffling the feathers, or not ruffling the feathers, but they're making it look like it's normal, and like the people that are rejecting it are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so if people stay to the kind of religion, kind of follow the religious path, then, because I'm a Muslim, okay? But like if you look at certain basic things, like Muslims, Christians, Jews, kind of some things they agree on, basic things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but this is like for us, like the Quran is a guide to us for life. Like that's our guide. Like this is what you do, this is what you don't do. This is allowed, this is not allowed. Okay? So I have something to follow. But now when you take that away, you don't have anything to follow. Now you have a degenerate society.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so what the crap that they did with the Olympics, that's just some BS. That's not allowed. That's not permissible. You know what I'm saying? If this was maybe, I don't know how many years ago, a lot of Christian values, very Christian religious based, a lot more people would raise hell than what we saw.
Yeah.
Okay? But they don't want you attached to what's right and what's wrong no more. Because what is right and what's wrong now? Okay? We can go down that rabbit hole. You can go in the streets naked. That's not wrong. That's not necessarily wrong no more. You can have, you know, a different girlfriend every week. That's not wrong no more. You can sleep with a different girl every week. That's not wrong no more.
Mm-hmm.
You can sleep with multiple guys. That's not wrong no more. You can have a porn site for yourself, OnlyFans. That's not wrong no more. Okay? You can do drugs at a young age. That's not necessarily wrong no more. You're coping with your anxiety.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all of this, and now it's not necessarily wrong no more. Back in the day when you follow the religion, doesn't matter what religion you follow, when you follow it, then it says, hey, you're not doing this. This is wrong. Now, if you decide to go do it, that's you. I'm not judging you. But this is wrong. We can't even say today, this is wrong. Bathrooms. Anybody can go into the ladies' bathroom these days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You can believe whatever you want. That's fine. But there's something that's right. There's something that's wrong. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now we became the society where we can't even say...
So where would they go use the bathroom?
Who's they?
It.
I mean, I say you whatever you were born. That's just my 2 cents. Now, again, I'm not judging you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I believe. At the end of the day, you use what you have. If you get a willy, go to the bathroom that's made for the willies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you go the other way, go to the bathroom.
If you just say female, male,
You
bro.
got a clam.
You know what I mean? So, like, I get it. Like, this is not a religion. It's not based on the church. This is not me or you to say. Like, we can't. We resurrect this and make this. Oh, this is a Christian or religious country. But I think it should be. We should push more of it's okay to follow the religion, and to look at the religion as right or wrong. You know, but this is also from somebody that doesn't believe the religion. You know, what do they, it's called the monotheistic religion.
Yeah, we believe in one God.
You know, if you don't believe in that religion, then you look at us like we're different. And so we have in a society that now there's a lot of atheists. There's a lot of agnostic, which I learned a couple of years ago. I thought it's just atheists. But the Muslim countries is like, hey, bro, you will be shunned. And people are like, what do you mean shunned? Like, now there's extreme people everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't follow CNN and Fox 13 on how Muslims punish people, right? More than half of that is BS. But it's like if I'm back home in Palestine and I'm walking around with the beer, oh, bro, I'm going to get dirty looks. An old man's probably going to come smack me. This is how it is. And people are like, wow, you can't have a beer. We're not allowed to drink, right? And in our town, there's no alcohol. So now I'm bringing alcohol to the town. That's the way it's looked at. I'm bringing alcohol to the town. And then guys that I drink, don't go overboard and start going nuts, okay? But alcohol does kill more people than we can count, all right? But I'm bringing degeneracy to the town. When I went back in 2012, 2013, I was 16, right? Around there. Mm-hmm. And I walked out in joggers, gray joggers, right? We know the gray jogger thing.
The inside joke.
The inside joke with the gray joggers here in the United States, right? Gray joggers and a white T-shirt. I was just chilling. I was like, man, I'm just relaxed at home. Let me go to the store. And my mom went nuts. Like, you're going out like that? Nope. You're going to put jeans on. You're going to put a shirt on. We go out in jeans, like real clothes. There was no joggers. Like, when I started wearing joggers, my mom thought it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, my family thought it was crazy. Like, that's not clothes. Now, people look at that as extreme, right? Like, that's not clothes. But then you go from, and again, I'm not judging you. Now you go from pants to leggings, which it molds the body, which is okay. That's normal. Now you go to short leggings. So it shows all your body and then just covers your butt and your private part. Just a thin piece of fabric. Then you go to the point where your butt is hanging out and you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
So people don't pay attention like, oh, you're extreme. No, we're not extreme. Now we have 8-year-olds that are showing their whole body.
Yeah. Like wearing crop tops and skirts.
Crop tops and skirts. Okay, now again, that's your business. But I'm just saying, like, this is where it leads to. This is, if you look back, this was not an overnight process. This was, like you said, like this was what's happening over here with the Olympics. What's the next thing they do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of Olympics, you guys heard about how they also allowed this transgender person into the boxing? I guess they got approved.
What?
Yeah, I saw you do that when we were drinking coffee.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's obviously unfair. The dude's got a physical strength advantage. And especially, I mean, like running and all the sports, like it is effed up already. Like, oh, you got unfair advantage. But a sport where somebody's life is on the line, that's ridiculous in my opinion.
You think... I just don't get the process of how accepting a male person into a sport. Like, is he taking hormones that doesn't allow his male strength to come in, or like, well, how do they determine like that person is eligible?
Well, I think they do something along the lines where like they do like a testosterone blocker or whatever.
Really?
Because the testosterone is what produce. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, right? But that's what they do. But you still have man power, bro.
You still got that muscle you developed.
You still got a muscle. The frame, just your frame alone, right? The frame of a man and the frame of a woman is two different things. Now some men got frames of women anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter. But like Here it goes again. It goes back to this. That's some BS. That's some BS, right? Because there's an unfair advantage, and I don't care what you believe or what you want to identify as. But at the end of the day, now I'm sure there's some people that's had, deformities maybe at birth. At the end of the day, you're born with the ball sack or you're not. That simple.
Mm-hmm. Was it? I think. Was it incels when you're like between born with some?
No, incels dudes that hate women.
Oh, what's that word? What's that term where?
Where'd that come from?
Is it incels? No, it's something. Okay, some term.
No, incels is someone that hates women.
No, it's some term that is. Is it? I don't know if it's a guy that.
A hermaphrodite?
No.
How do you know these big words, bro? I don't know what these big words are.
No, I don't know. No, I think it's take away from the woman in the sport. If another man or a person who claimed them as a woman, but they're originally a man, it's I think it's unfair for a woman because like, what if that guy what if that person just end up winning? You know,
I think most of the time they do.
Yeah, they do. I think like the record, like in college swimming, the record is held by a dude now, a transgender. I mean,
about it.
Please don't cancel me.
You know the award, Woman of the Year.
Oh yeah, you heard about that?
Get who won that?
No.
You know Bruce. You know the Kim Kardashian's. The Kardashians, the dad who transformed himself, won 1 year.
He won that 1 year, and last year this dude, I forgot his name. Another transgender. The transgender was on the Bud Light. Remember there was that controversy? Mm-hmm. That transgender, this was crazy. That transgender, not even a year as a woman, he beat all y'all women. Y'all need to step y'all game up. Y'all letting a transgender beat y'all. He became Woman of the Year. But again, why are they doing this? This doesn't just happen, there's reasons behind these things.
This is an agenda being passed. And the agenda that's being passed, this is my 2 cents. This is what's taken us away from becoming staying the greatest country. What's the word? I don't like using these big words. They're demasculating it. They're demasculating. How do you pronounce that damn word?
Emasculating?
They're demasculating. They're not making us. They're looking at it as like masculine. Guys, don't spar multiple times a week.
Broken record.
I couldn't get a word out, bro. They're making like being masculine toxic. Let me break it up into 2 words. Being masculine is toxic. To be a strong man, to stand up for your character, your value, to say, hey, I'm a man. This is how we do shit around here. I'm the head of the household. I'm the one that wears the pants. I'm the one that protects you. I'm the one that feeds. I'm the one that provides. Okay? And you know where this comes from also? From these whack, I'm got to calm down my language. These whack dudes that are soft as tissue paper. This is where it really comes from because I think there's an uneven number of now that we have guys that are not real strong warriors to guys that are just soft as tissue paper and they just go about their life and it is what it is. They can't even speak back to say, hey, this is how it runs. This is my job as a man. You're not going to tell me what a man is going to be, CNN or whatever it is, or a politician. You're not going to tell me that. We know what men are supposed to do. Okay?
Who you think
we know what women are supposed to do. Okay? Back in the day, there's nothing wrong with women working right now. There isn't. But when a woman starts working, she becomes independent. When she becomes independent, she don't need no man. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is how it works. This is not like Mo making up stuff. This is how it works.
I think as society changed, I think lifestyles and should also adapt to it. But what you think what you think is enabling that weak mindset from men? Like you think as a country, you think we have it so good. There's a peacetime right now. Like there's nothing really affecting us in a way that we have to become men. Back in the day, you had to experience wars, draft, right, and then a lot of stuff. So right now, I don't think there's a lot of things that we going experiencing that make us strong mentally. I think.
Yeah, but I think also like the men that are out there, right, is what we should look at and be like, okay, we need men is the society that we have. Okay, we don't have hardships. Our society is making it hard because we lack men. When you look around, who do you say? I don't rely on nobody. Okay, but I look around like, all right, weak. It's not me being cocky, right? It's not me like, oh, because you train or because you work out. No, it's not. Look at all these guys when you're around in a room. Mm-hmm. They can't fight their way out of a paper bag. They can't speak up against what's wrong. They can't say what's right. They can't even speak to say the truth. Okay? But this is by design. This is me saying by design. I think this was all created to break up the families, to break down the man. Because if you don't have men, you can't have people that speak up and say, this is how it runs. That's wrong. There's no well, it was an art. No, this is wrong. Plain and simple. This is wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is not correct. So we need to stop people here and say, hey, this is wrong. Stop right there. Now, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm afraid to say something because I'm going to hurt your feelings. No, I don't give a damn. I'm going to say what I think. Okay? So now they've broken down the man. Okay? To the point where, they're winning Women of the Year.
Yeah.
What else can I say? Right? Try and be respectful because I know there's some people that watch this that are that may be gay or transgender. Like, I'm not judging you. That's you. Do I think it's right? No. Okay? But to the point where men win Women of the Year, to the point where a damn man can walk into the bathroom and there's kids in there. Mm-hmm. Or there's a woman in there. Okay? If I see a man walk into the bathroom with my lady in there, we're going to have a big ass problem. That simple. Okay? To the point where men are entering a female boxing tournament.
Yeah.
And then you got women on the other side thinking they're men. They think they run the household. They think they have to be the provider. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with you working. Like in our religion, in Islam, the women can work. But the man, by the religion, is not allowed to take any money from her. Mm-hmm. Like, she can't go work and he takes the money. Now, if she wants to help and pay the bills, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's his duty to provide from head to toe. Whatever money she makes, she keeps. You don't touch it. Now, obviously, most women, if you were going through hardships, she'll give you the money. Yeah. She'll give it to you. But if she works, the money that she just keeps for herself. She's not working to provide. Now, if there's an illness or something like that, that's a different scenario. Yeah. But it's solely the man's job is to work and provide. Now, people look at it like today, it's like, that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy. Right? Now, we do live in a country where now you need what do they call it?
Two-income household?
Two-income household. I understand that. Mm-hmm. Okay? But now, like, I saw this Instagram. I told you about this. And this is talking about, like, why we're here, right? Like, I think lacking men standing for what's right or wrong, telling, hey, this is how we do it. But also women on the other side, rebellious. Because they'll look at a man like, if a man, say we have this girl, and we say, hey, you're going to sit at home, I'm going to provide. And most of the time it's younger girls, right? But you've seen this old girl. You're going to stay at home, I'm going to provide everything that you need. No, you're toxic. Her friends are going to be like, no, he's toxic. You do what you want, girl. Yeah. You go to the club and you show your ass. You do whatever you want. If he tells you that he doesn't like the way you dress, that's insecure. That's insecurity. That's toxic and that's insecure. Mm-hmm. That's his problem. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is along those lines. Yeah. Okay? But I saw this woman make a reel and she was like, why do we need men to pay for our stuff? And this is a course. She made a course teaching women how to not rely on their husbands no more.
Oh, man.
Like, that's not normal, bro. That's not normal. I'm reading, I'm like, bro, this is where our society's at. And she's telling, like, Why do you need to ask your husband to go buy a purse? Why do you need to ask your husband to go get a cup of coffee with your girls? Why do you need to go do this? Why do you have to go ask him to buy nice clothes? Let me show you how to make money so you don't have to worry about asking your husband that. You do what you want with your money. So what does that do to the lady, to the woman?
So separation.
It's separation.
Yep.
But if they break up the families, they break up the society, and there's separation, we're busy separating and we're busy fighting each other, and we don't look at the big picture of what's really going on.
Yep. 100%. It's like the way society's set up nowadays. It's like the man and the woman are so busy now. Now men and women both have to work. So both the men and the women are so busy working. They neglect the kids, right? You're teaching these kids crazy stuff in school. So now the other people raising your kids, and you don't build those values within the household, you know?
Yeah.
And then there leads to the degeneracy.
Yep. So let me ask you guys. What do you guys, because like I know some people look at me and like, well, Mo, you know, we know Mo's 2 cents on this. But what do you guys think about this whole like toxic masculinity, women independence, and like where do we draw the line? Because obviously, I guess it's too late to draw the line. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's too late to draw the line. But what do we say to that? What do we do for that?
I think it's all depending on the person views and how their values really. Because I mean, one values can be different from another, right? You may not have you may not have the same values. Where I see women and men should act a certain way. For example, you are very adamant on like men should know how to fight, right? Respectable men, right? I feel like not all men need to be able to defend themselves, right? Where they are strong in other aspect of their life, right? They're strong mentally. They know how to emotionally and intelligently support their other half, or where they bring in money, right? The bread for the family, you know. So I think it's just.
So you don't necessarily think they need to be able to fight?
Well, I just believe that some men are just incapable to do so. You know, I feel like it's just their weak point. You know.
Okay,
what I mean?
so
does that make him less of a man? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of contribution that goes into a man that deem them respectable, right? You can be a fighter, right? For example, let's say a name unknown MMA fighter. He know how to fight, but he beat his woman. You know, he beat his woman. True. He doesn't bring money home to the kids and the family. You know what I mean?
No. Now this is just a trait.
Yeah.
When I say man need to know how to fight, no.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. There's
a trait. This is one of the traits.
Yeah.
Now, being a man is you have to respect your woman. She got to be the top. You know, like you care for her the most. Mm-hmm. You take care of her to the extreme. You make sure she doesn't need anything. You always make sure she has everything. And this is not just for your woman, right? This is for the community you serve, for people around you, your loved ones. You know, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. So, and I feel like society has affected a lot on traditional values, right? Because if you think about hundreds of years in the past, right, where when you think of traditional values, it's always about men, right? Us as human, we put men on pedestals, right? And that's just a traditional old way to view men like as, right? Just in my culture, right? We don't care if the woman make more money than us, live better than us. I remember one of my older cousins. She said this to Chris when we had dinner. She said that no matter what your status you have for yourself, the woman will always put men above them, no matter what, always. And and I see that when she said that, I see that with my mother and my dad. My mom will do everything for my father, right? Even though she may make more money than him now, and etc. She has so much status with her, right? Things that she did, but she will always put him above her, and I don't know, and that's just I believe that's what Asian culture, our point of view is. But now society where we have to two income, right, to survive, it breed another sense of perspective. So that's why as society changes, our perspective changes and our value changes. The question is that the traditional ways, can you survive in a society now? No, you can't. I mean, because the traditional ways, now you can say modern tradition, right? You still hold some traditional values, but you still have to adapt. So right, so I call it modern traditional.
But you gotta identify, like, what do you mean by survive?
Well, survive as two family. You cannot survive with, let's say, a family household of 5, a wife, husband, and 3 kids.
So when you
or even 2.
So when you mean survive, it's like, hey, pay the bills, feed the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So my problem is not even that. My problem is with the fact that, so wives put their man at a pedestal, right? They're like, doesn't matter what happens, he's the husband, he's the man of the house. He's almost like superior to me. And I don't even like using that word when it comes to husband and wife, right? But you see this a lot. Boy, he's the breadwinner. He's the protector of the family. Like, we should respect him. We should hold him up, right? Now, at the same time, this dude shouldn't be a piece of crap and abuse that and like make his wife inferior and shit on her and be controlling and be abusive and be all that.
Well, that's why. But most traditional ways, it's like that. Most traditional views, especially in Asian culture, speaking. I don't know about other cultures, but you can see it in Japanese culture, Vietnamese. I see it all the time. I was a first-hand witness to this. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, it's surprising how it's hard to hold that values traditionally and still, survive in a society now, because you're not.
Well, and I get what you say, like when it comes to finances. Not everybody's cut out to be a one household winner and pay and do whatever the husband does, take care of the woman. I'm fully aware of that. What I'm talking about is, I'm not necessarily talking about surviving. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with working because you need to make the money. This is something has to happen almost at this point. You're going to find very few men that can provide for the family by themselves. This is not going to be, and this number is going to get smaller and smaller of just one man providing for the family, one income house. As time passes, you're going to for sure 2 income as time progresses, right? But what I'm talking about is the fact that this is my role as the man. This is how we run. This is what we do. This is how I run the family. This is what you can do. Right now, you're not going to be abusive. You're not going to be controlling to the point where like it's blasphemy, right? And this is your job as a woman. Is to take care of the kids, to feed the family, to cook. Okay? And people are like, well, men can cook. I understand that. But I'm saying basic things that we're taught. Man does this, woman does this. Okay?
A supporting role.
The supporting role. The man needs to respect the woman to the T because she's doing that. Okay? And she needs to respect him because he's playing his part. But the problem is we don't have parts no more. That's where I'm getting to. We don't have this man playing his part and this woman playing her part. Mm-hmm. He's playing all the roles and she's playing all the roles. She's trying to wear the pants, and she's trying to be the man. But here's the thing. This is another topic we can go into. Well, some women are like, well, ain't no men left. So we have to be the man of the house. Mm. You know what I mean? But I think this was manufactured. We've left our traditional roles, views. And I think this is a big, big problem. Because if you have OnlyFans, I don't care. But like, before, you talk about corn, right? So corn is one of the worst things you can do, right? Yeah. If you watch it, you're in a hole. Mm-hmm. You're in a big hole, right? Now you have people, daughters and mothers and sisters and all this selling their OnlyFans.
God bless.
They just call it OnlyFans. So what is OnlyFans?
It's a platform.
It's a platform like what?
For a person or people can express themselves. Or it's like Tinder.
It's a porn site.
Tinder.
No, so let me tell you.
Tinder.
Explain.
It's like
OnlyFans, you can also do other things like cooking. It's just so it's
cooking,
just
with no pants on.
no. Don't
Ain't nobody
judge
should-
the book fully.
Listen,
don't judge
I'm
the
not
whole
judging.
book.
I'm not judging. Listen, I'm not judging.
I'm not saying there's none like that. I mean, it is, of course.
Ben, what's OnlyFans for? For me to cook so I can go sell jiu-jitsu
No,
lessons? on
only
there?
primarily OnlyFans is for people who want to sell their whatever they want to sell. So whether they cook or they like for a podcast, it's just you can even post. I'm just saying, but most people just use it for selling their body. That's what it is. Just for example, Tinder started off originally just to have two people meeting, but it ended up like a hookup site.
That's all it is, a hookup site.
Yes,
The
but
social media is a hookup sites now.
primarily you still find
Snapchat's
the love
a
of your
hookup
life
site.
there. I know a couple of people who found their husband and wife
That's
from there.
fine, that's
you know what I'm
fine.
saying? So it's the same concept with OnlyFans. The OnlyFans is not 100% one genre, is what I'm trying to get at. My 90% of the genre is people selling the body. Yes, sure.
So what is that though?
What do you mean? What is
When you
that?
sell your body, what is it? Gio, answer the question, please.
It's porn.
That's what it is. You're paying for
It's not
it.
a porn site.
It doesn't have to be an official porn. You don't have to put a name tag like, hey guys, this is a porn
Well,
site.
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just being technical. I'm just being technical.
You're being Ben, I know.
just being
So
technical.
you don't have to put the name on it, but that's normal.
Yeah.
A dad knows that his daughter sells her body on there. When did that become normal?
How you feel about when a dad said, yeah, and I support it. I pay for it monthly.
Yeah, there's stories like that.
What
Like
the
that,
fudge,
that
man?
a dad helps his daughter out, like supports her by he subscribes and he like gave her like a tip. This is a
Listen,
story.
bro, I just want to move to the mountains and just live, and I don't want to
So,
see nobody.
I wanna bring
Just
up-
let me
I
go
want-
to the mountains and get away from all this BS.
Dude, you know
This
what's
stuff
crazy?
is crazy.
So we talk about roles of a man and a woman. You think one of the roles of a woman is protection?
I mean, to what extent? Protection, like what? Protect who?
They're just
The husband?
the trait of protection. That are they capable of protection? For example, let's say we have woman A over here, a robber come in. You think her role should be able to protect? Her role is should be able to protect us.
So-
should protect us, or should we as men should do it?
Oh, 1,000% as men. Now, this is what I would say. Now, you can't get carried away as men and be ignorant and like, because you're not going to be where your woman is all the time. But the truth is, you're in a house. Somebody breaks in. Who's going to go check? You or your girl?
I'm gonna expect Chris to check because
But by nature, every woman that's bowing up right now and is like trying to act tough, by nature, she's gonna look at her husband. You hear that noise? Right?
I ain't hear nothing. Throwing the covers on.
But the first thing she's gonna do is, did you hear that noise? Every woman's natural instinct, for the most part, is gonna be that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your job. Now, women have the protective instinct. They're moms, right? They're gonna naturally want to protect their kids. Which I saw some crazy, like somebody said, "Would you protect your kids like if you know you're gonna die?" I don't know if you saw that interview. It went viral on Facebook, and it's so like I forgot how many. Like 8 out of 10 answered no.
What?
Yes, bro.
what?
Yes.
What would be
Moms
Damn.
said they would not protect their kids if they knew they're gonna die.
That ain't
What?
Yes, bro.
No.
Bro, I'm telling you.
You know what?
I was like, what in the world? Like,
I might be stretching, and I mean no disrespect, but this is why God give free will, right? If God doesn't give free will, I feel like women should pass a test to be able to be mother.
ooh, snap! You entered a different. You entered a different thing.
Yeah.
But let me answer that question about the protection. Okay, so like the man is supposed to protect at all times. That's why I think you should be trained. And if you say I'm not physically capable, I better hope you're training with the gun. I hope that you are pretty proficient with the gun. Okay?
What if you're not? For example, hot topic, right? 2024. My boy, Trump train, almost died. And then guess who's on? Guess who was on his Secret Service detail?
the women that duck down?
Oh yeah.
Not even that. The woman who fumbled her gun
couldn't
like
put
for
her
a
gun
whole
back.
minute, bro. I'm exaggerating. It's probably like 10 seconds.
Don't
but,
matter. She couldn't get her gun back in.
Yeah, I feel
Wow.
like you should be able to handle under stress like that for sure, 100%.
So listen. Go back to that. Like women should like I said, you're not gonna be there with the women all the time. So I believe you should help your women get the training that she needs, right? With like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because fighting and protecting is not just literally fighting.
Yeah.
It's an aura. When you know that you're capable of things, you give off a vibe. And when people feel that vibe, they don't want nothing, for the most part, they don't want nothing to be, right? So training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, training, combat sports, primarily Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It will help. So I believe that you should at least try to guide your lady to that. And then train with the gun.
100%.
You have to. Because
So you
if you're
think-
not there, she needs to be able to do it.
So you think women shouldn't even be in a protective role at all? So for example, like the Secret Service or being in the military.
Oh, you're talking about to that extent?
Yeah.
Bro, you open another can of whoop butt.
I'm just saying, me personally, I don't think.
I mean,
there's
you
a
know-
reason why there's no woman in the infantry. There's none. Right,
Really?
unless they haven't made news. You would be when I was in SOI, which is School of Infantry. There was a batch of women who was trying to join the infantry, but there's some unit that accepted women in the infantry, but it's not really infantry units. So we saw a woman. I saw a bunch of like a squad of women trying out the test that we need to do, which is carrying a 75-pound gun around, a 100-pound pack running, and then jumping across a log. Bro, you know how heavy that thing is? Even some men can't even do it. Right? So, let alone having a woman do it, I think it's unfair for the people who's on the left and right, because that's gonna cause people to die.
I think there, to a certain extent, you're kind of correct.
And I mean, it's also with the Secret Service, because I don't know. If you see the picture, every single man, I may be reaching, but every single man jump on my boy Donald, and there's a woman standing in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And thank God, like we have people like that who just sacrifice their body to be a human shield for someone they protect. That's just like super honorable.
He said, hell no, I'm not doing all that. But as far as the family, I think how the woman protects the family is not necessarily physical protection, because that's the man's job, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're in a tribe, you protect the tribe and you protect your family physically. But I think the woman does protect the family in the sense that, like mentally, when it comes to morals and values, you know? Mm-hmm. Like for example, Mo, he said his mom, she didn't let you walk out in joggers and a shirt, right? She's like protecting her family, like the honor, like, hey, he's not a degenerate. Mm-hmm. You know, I think the woman's role is to protect her family from degeneracy, from just behavior in that sense, where she corrects the behavior to prevent like future going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the mom that spends the most time with the kids and nurtures. And I think that's how she actually protects the household mentally and emotionally.
And I think you can go even dive deeper, like when you talk about honor. You know what I'm saying? Because like, not just Arab culture, right? Like this back in American times too, America's time, is the woman like there's a lot of honor with the woman, right? You don't want the honor of the family that comes with her and the family is like she's protecting herself from others. She's not putting herself out there. She's not giving up her attention to others. You know what I'm saying? So she's protecting herself and the family from like that evil outside.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a whole different topic, but you know, that's for me, like protect yourself, you know, with pride and honor, take care of yourself and take care of the kids in the household, and that's it. Like, I don't ask nothing else of you, you know, but like I said, when it comes to working, not many men can provide by themselves these days. Mm-hmm. It's just so hard. You know, and we're not judging that. This is just the circumstance that we're given. You need a 2-household income.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. And the one thing that Ben answered, I didn't answer, is how they're trying to say like toxic masculinity and all these things. Well, the goal is like they want to break down the man so that the man is not a man, right? He doesn't set the tone in the relationship. He doesn't set like the values and this, who we are. He doesn't have something he can stand on, like his values. And so therefore they break the man, they break the woman's role. Now the family's broken. And then when the family's broken, then the children are broken. And when the children are broken, they go down the bad paths, or they go down again. You don't believe anything, you don't believe in something, you believe in everything, right? Like there's in America, if you look at the households where the father ain't there, it's broken households, right? There's exceptions. Oh, this guy, like, he didn't have a father, and look how far he made it. Well, that's pretty cool to see, right? Your circumstances don't define you, right? You can change it. But for the most part, households without a father, they're broken. The boys, they never grow up to be men. They're not responsible. They got baby mamas. They are degenerates. They use drugs. And they lack emotional control. You see here in Memphis, you honk at somebody, you risk getting killed. Yep. You look at somebody the wrong way, you risk getting killed.
You flash your lights at somebody, you get shot at.
Right. And that's emotional control. And I bet you those dudes, they not have a father to teach them, like, hey, a man control, he stays calm. He doesn't, like, he just, That was she telling my kids yesterday. That, like, if somebody insults you and you
Damn, how many kids you got?
You tell my Muay Thai kids and my part-time kids. I was telling them, if somebody insults you, like I was saying, like if I tell Coach Brandon that his chain is fake and he starts fighting me, he's weak. He's got no emotional control. And these men, these adult men, right? But they act like boys. They have no fall in life. They weren't taught, right? They weren't in the church to give values. Therefore, what's going to happen with them? They don't know how to be a father. They don't know how to be a man. How are they going to be a father and man to the next generation?
Yeah.
And then the whole generation is a degenerate. It falls for the influences of the government or whoever. And then next thing you know, there's no pushback. Mm-hmm.
I think that's good.
Don't you think it's the same way, same logic apply to people who talk about your mom and dad then? And you get mad at it and you try to whoop their ass?
I think to a certain extent, I think if someone don't even know your mama and they're making your mama jokes, right? Which I had to go through this in elementary school. Like, they'll make your mama jokes and I'll get mad. But then, like, the teacher was like, does he know your mama? No. So how could he even say anything about your mom if he don't know your mom, right? But if you know my mom, like, you disrespecting her, you call her something like, okay, like, at that point, it's not necessarily just petty. That's like, you're disrespecting the honor of my mom. Yeah. And, like, honor's big. You're not just going to disrespect the honor of my mom or my loved one.
People kill over honor.
I mean, you guys have to. The only thing that will affect me of getting mad at is like you're dishonoring your family if you're not defending. But then again, like these are words. These are one way of people trying to get under your skin. That was my problem. Somebody talk about my mama and dad, I would always try to fight it back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right. But now I find out that words are just a tool that people can use to get under your skin. And the moment that happened, you have lost the battle before it even started.
Look, so you are correct, okay? I'm going to tell you that to a certain extent. Okay, now if somebody's talking. Now, for us, like, we growing up, like, you don't say nothing about, like, specifically females of the family. Like, ladies of the family, you don't bring it up because that's like a big red line for us. Like, huge, right? And so you just don't do it. And if you say something, it's a fight. It's on the spot. We're not talking it out. We're going to fight about it. Now, that can be looked at as dumb. Yeah, now I've grown up, and maybe now I have more responsibilities and stuff that will be affected if I get in a fight and then I get a mugshot on News Channel 3, right? But I think there's a certain extent, too. Like, if you go in details, like some people, like, you hear stuff like guys are like, I'm going to do this to your girl, and I'm going to do this to your girl.
I don't know, man.
So you're going to let that slide?
He going to go ape shit.
No. So I'm a firm believer.
Maybe not anymore.
No.
Before, I think he would. But, like, for me, is if you go into detail, like, if you say that, nah, bro.
I'm a firm believer you stand By principle and values, just with religion, right? For example, you guys have principles and values that you guys follow and stand by. For example, Buddhism, right? I believe in Buddhism. And he was non-violent, just with Jesus or whatever, right? If they tell me, why would you let this external factor affect you, do this, to get under your skin? Why would you let that affect you? So I'm going to follow that teaching to its T. Now, it's not going to be perfect every single day. However, this is something that we need to strive through too, right? So if I say that you shouldn't let that happen, I'm going to be like, no, that's not going to affect me. If somebody's talking crap, right? Somebody's talking wildly about my girl, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to look at them, cool. It's not going to affect me. I'm fine. I don't need to express some sort of hate and anger towards that person, right? Because I'm not going to let it go, get it under my skin. And that's something I'm trying to strive for, right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect and I'm going to follow it to the T. Maybe I have my bad day. Maybe he caught me in a bad day where it's going to get under my skin and I'm going to lay it on him.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm still going to be like, the answer is going to be always the same. I'm not going to do anything.
I mean, props to you, bro. Like,
I mean,
maybe like I think this is like a right. I don't think this is necessarily a right or wrong.
Sharpen your sword, right? Your mind and your.
I'm gonna sharpen my sword on his neck.
Because your mind is also a strong weapon.
It is, but
so if you're not able to control your emotions, what makes that?
I can control my emotions. That's what I'm controlling them by letting them happen. But listen.
You have to train your mind to the point that you can handle that.
It's not that I can't. There's been times that I've ignored it.
So your ego and Pat.
So I guess my ego got checked. But I think, listen, it's not that I'm getting control, bro.
Your ego is.
Listen, I honestly, God can sit in the place. Now I'll be infuriated. I'll be mad. I'll be upset. I don't think, and this is me. This is my 2 cents. You don't have to like it, right? You don't have to. This is my 2 cents. You don't have to think the same way I think. I think as a true man, a true man is not just having man genitals, right? Mm-hmm. I'm talking about inside, the spirit, the character, everything, the belief. Like, this is what I am. I don't think you can sit there and listen. I'm not talking about petty jokes, like smart jokes, people. I'm talking about you're going at it with somebody, and somebody's saying like Conor McGregor, for example, with Dustin Poirier's wife. Like, I would do this to her and I would do that to her. Like, bro.
I don't think I will be able to affect that.
That's fine. That's for you. That's fine. Like I said, I'm gonna sharpen my sword on his neck.
Well, that's the thing about it. Like in Buddhism, like the ultimate goal, right? Which I studied for a long time. It's a very beautiful discipline. It's the ultimate goal in Buddha is you have to let go of your ego, like ego free, right? Which is what you're striving for, right? And that is very hard, right? It's like if you can get there, you're in another different state, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where I can see where you're at. You're to a point where I let go of my ego. And when I let go, and the philosophy, if you let go of your ego, you let go of the suffering, right? But that is very hard to do as human beings, to let go of your ego, right? And then there's some cultures, right? Like in Mexico, like most Arab culture, where your pride as a man, that's like a big part of you. You have pride and you have your ego.
So let me tell you this. People will fight over a woman if you talk about Reddit, right? People, so you willingly risk 100,000 millions of lives just over a smirk of a comment, maybe dishonor, right? That's throughout human history. You dishonor somebody, we're going to war, and innocent lives, bam. That caused so much suffering. That's throughout history. Throughout history.
Be that one guy. I ain't got nobody else got to get involved.
That's throughout history. So if you look through our past and our patterns and the trend that we throughout history, we kill ourselves.
Okay,
because of our ego and pride. Right or wrong, right?
I get what you're saying. Like, honestly, like listen. You know how many times I've thought about this? I've played out so many situations. I have, like, I really have, and I've let some things slide that have been said to me before. I've let them slide. And I went home upset. I was just upset, right? Now,
is it because you felt like a B word?
I mean, it's not that I felt like a beer. It's like I was upset that he said that and he got away with it. Because I know that guy is going to go and do it again. But if you bust him in his mouth, and I like for me, when I like, hopefully, praying to God I don't get hurt. The way I look at it, and this is me just being kind of funny. If I was to fight somebody, I'm not going to just hurt him. I'm not going to try to hurt this guy over something like that. I will take him down. I will mount him. I will make sure he has no weapons. And I'll smack him. And I'll keep smacking him. I will
belittle him.
I will belittle him to the point where he will never forget that another man treated him that way.
If you did that to me, I'm shooting you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's what I would do. Is like, I'm not going to try to hurt you to that point, even though I might be upset. For me, like, if a man disrespects me, I'm going to belittle you. I'm going to make you feel this small. To the point where you'll be on your deathbed, and you remember that you did that to a man and he treated you that way. So you don't ever do it again. That's what I would do.
So,
like, it's not, when it comes to like physically hurting somebody,
yeah,
that's if you physically try to hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you pretty bad.
Yeah.
Praying to God that God gives me the tools and the open mind to be able to carry that out, right? To be able to defend myself and my family. But in an instant, like this dude is like running his mouth and he's being smart. Oh, I'm gonna let him remember that you can't just walk up to any man and do that and talk about his woman. Well, because for me, that's pride and honor, right? And some people like don't fold on that. For me, I'm not gonna fold on it. I will not fold on that. Now, there may be a situation. I will say this, right? I will say this. There may be a situation that I might have to bite my tongue because guess what? Also, as a trained warrior, and I would hope to be that I'm smart in that situation. You may be in a situation where it's a lose-lose situation. And guess what? I might have to bite my tongue and tuck my tail between my legs and keep shut. But outside of that, guess what? I'm going to pull the shirt over his head, take him down, I'm going to smack him on his belly. So I'm going to keep smacking him. And I'm going to tell him to get up. And he's not going to be able to get up. And I'm going to smack him.
So you said that's like your emotion that is like taking you for... like your emotion is controlling you to do that,
No,
right?
It's not my emotion. It's my choice. It's my decision.
How's it your decision when... Why?
Because I'm deciding right now. The circumstance... You're not going to get me riled up.
So, but he did because you're doing this to him because he talked to you. And
it's a decision. Now, it maybe sound like it may make sense, right? But like, I'm not. Of course, it's gonna bother me, right?
Yes.
But it's not that like he got me riled up to fight. I'm gonna fight you anyway. I'll say it right now. It's gonna happen. You talk about that. I'm going to do it. You didn't necessarily get me riled up with the words and get me angry and all that. Now I want to fight. On the spot, it decides that I'm going to fight. No, I'm deciding right now. You say something about my woman, this is what the outcome is. Now, you're talking about emotional reaction. Emotional reaction is on the spot. You're going to get me emotionally...
Well, ego is...
I guess if you want to talk about that, right? Maybe. But regardless, that's the red line.
I don't know. I find true
100%.
warrior...
What do you think, Gio?
I agree. I agree with you. I'll react the way you do. And I see where he's trying to come from.
I see where he's coming from.
But
it's not like... So if you talk about me, if you cuss me out, do whatever you want, you're not going to bother me. The second you touch me, now we got a problem. When it's about me. Or even you guys. If we're out in public and somebody's talking about you guys, they can say whatever they want until they touch you. Or they get close to where I feel like they're going to do something. Because I'm not going to wait for it, right? Mm-hmm. I would let them run their mouth, do whatever they want. But the second I feel like it's going to get physical... it's game on. You don't have a choice at that point.
Yeah. I think you guys should study the art of ignoring. I think it's a very. I think it's a seriously no. It's a very powerful tool, and it will save you a lot from suffering and unnecessary stress in your life. Right, the art of ignoring.
I mean,
and that's why. And I'll tell you one example in my life that happened to me that made me become a firm believer in this. You know, in the Marine Corps, I was in the Marine Corps. You know, in the Marine Corps, there's no race. We're all one color. We're green, right? But in the Marine Corps, man, you will hear some outrageous stuff, racist joke, dark humor, like the most craziest thing you could talk about. You think I'm bad, you know? Talking about this is 10 times worse. So I'm in that environment. I have friends, buddies who's like throwing racist joke, I'm throwing it back. But I got to the point where it's like really annoying, and they will affect me every single day because they will always pick on me, and they will have a great reaction to this because I'm reacting to it. And one day I told myself, I'm just gonna ignore them and see how they react. I ignored them when they make jokes about me.
See, that's different.
And then, I mean, they talk about mothers and everything, bro. Well, not family, because my guy's a Muslim and he's against that, so he doesn't do it. But my other friend does. And when I ignored both of them, they were driving themselves crazy. I could just see that they were dry. They want it so bad. They want me to react so bad to their jokes that it hurt them that I didn't. And when I saw that, I was like, damn, this thing is powerful.
It is powerful. And what you're saying is true. I get it. I'm not denying it. Like, it's the thing, I'm not denying it.
And remember when we were training?
I remember.
When you were training and somebody accidentally slapped me or something happened, hurt me a little bit, I got mad and I turned up on them. And you're like, man, a true warrior is able to control their
I'm controlling
emotion.
a can of whoop ass. That's what I'm doing. Okay? It's not like...
Both. It applies both ways.
It does. Here's the thing. I agree to the T of everything you're saying. It's not that I don't disagree.
I know.
But I'm still going to do it.
Why?
Because that's a red line.
That is just...
No, it's not. Like, that's a red line. You don't do that.
Oh, bro.
Anyway, we're going to keep going. And that's my 2 cents. We know where we stand, right? And maybe it changes in the future.
Let us know in the comment what you guys think.
Yeah, guys, let us know if somebody...
How you guys feel?
I'm talking about... Listen, guys. I'm talking about in detail. Somebody, your lady's standing next to you and somebody's running his mouth. I will do this. And you know what I'm talking about when I will do this and I will do that and blah, blah, blah. Okay? Guys, if you don't want to put it in the comments, message me what you will do. Okay? Will you let it slide or are you going to do your thing? Okay? Next topic. There's 2 topics that, let me see. Some people asked from the gym. So one of our members asked, what originally drew you into combat sports? What are the traits that keep you into it? Okay. For me, I'm Arab, right? And for us, it's like as a man, you need to be able to protect. You need to be able to fight. You need to have the tools. Like this is trained from a young age. My brother teaches his kids. I teach my nephews that. From the day they were born until now, every day I talk to them. You know, like, hey, we train, we do this. You're a man, you're strong, all this. So like my dad and uncles, like they liked that kind of fighting stuff and they knew that we needed it. And they did karate growing up and stuff like that. And then we grew up fighting in the streets, okay? And we loved fighting, just naturally loved fighting, right? And my dad got us into it. We tried it. And then I just fell in love with it. I stuck with it the most out of my brothers. And when I started fighting, it was been an addiction, right? And when I did jiu-jitsu, it became a real addiction. But I think it's the idea of like mental clarity, mental health that you get from training, right? And then release of aggression, right? But for me, I think it's even further is when you gain true confidence. I would say 99% of the men out there, even maybe women, don't have true confidence. They may be confident, but it's not true confidence, right? It's masked it's like a fake mask that they have to portray and act like a certain way. True confidence when you know fully in your abilities and you believe in your abilities, right? And because of jiu-jitsu specifically and MMA, I feel like I gained true confidence. And I feel like I'm at peace with myself. Right, growing up, I was always in freaking battle with something. I don't know what it was, but I was in battle with something. Put it that way, you know.
You're an emo kid.
I was angry. I try to act tough. I was angry. I cursed a lot. I mean, every other word was a curse word. I had to put it on the front, you know. And now it's like nothing bothers me. I'm at peace. It's like. It's weird to say that, but...
Your body...
Huh?
Your body eating your own words. If you're at peace, why you let other words affect you?
They're not affecting me. That's my choice. Like, you cross the red line, and you're going to get beat up for it. That's just a decision. Like, this is just a red line for me. This is certain things. Like, you don't talk about my mom. You don't talk about my wife. You don't talk about my sisters. Like, that's a code for me. You don't break that code. Just like... The code of like as a husband, you don't go and go bang other girls when you're married. You just don't do that. That's a code as a man you don't do. Mm-hmm. right?
100%.
This is a code. You don't break it, and that's one of my codes. It's not like I'm at peace with myself, and I think with people that are at peace with themselves, those are probably the people that you don't want to mess with. The truth, because if they decide to do it, they decide to do it full intention. Okay, and I'm deciding to do it ahead of time right now with full intention. If you do it,
Of wanting to hurt somebody.
yeah. So like
Have you ever feel like you want to get jumped by like 6 person and see how?
I always talk about that. Like,
Chris hate it when I talk about it.
I always talk about that. Like, man, what if I'm out in public? Like, I just want like 5 or 6 guys just to try. I just want to try and see what happens. Like, I always say, I pray to God that I don't get hurt, extremely hurt, or they don't get extremely hurt. Like, no knives involved, no sticks, just fist. Like, I'll take a fist. You know what I'm saying? I'll take a kick, whatever it is. But when we were at the town square yesterday, when I saw those 6 teenagers,
Yeah.
I just imagined they were older.
Okay.
Like, they're grown. Like, I don't know. I can't buy no damn teenager. I'm like, maybe, because it was 6 of them, and they looked like a goon squad, right? And I thought, man, if they're older, I wish they would try right now. I wish. I already knew what I was going to do. I already had the game plan. But it's like, obviously you test yourself. Like, you want to, but I mean, thank God it hasn't happened. I mean, it's been altercations with like 2 or 3 guys, but I've always talked myself out of it. You know?
I think,
Yeah. That's a smart thing.
I think one big contribution that most people have when they get into like martial arts is like pride.
I think, pride, but I think not.
It's in a sense of protection.
I mean, it's pride and honor, but not everybody has that no more. And so the guy that...
Well, that's why people who does have it trains. You know what I mean?
And you need to worry about the guy that has it, because there's certain things that he's not going to budge on because of it.
Yeah, I'm full of shit. So the most time I have it, I'm gonna throw it down. I'll be like, screw this now with some tax. I'll be the first guy to through the leg.
But get what Buddhism said.
Wait, you have Buddhas on your chest.
All right, let's keep moving. So what? Because we don't got much time. We have to go teach kids class here in a minute. What drew you guys into combat sports?
I don't know. I always enjoy fighting. I fought twice when I was younger, but most of the time was defending my brother honor, family honor.
So we talk about honor. There we go, right?
There you go.
You don't budge on the honor.
I was dumb, young, and broke. No, but I mean, now they know how to handle themselves, and like me as an older brother, I feel like I need to protect them as well. And then when I was in the Marine Corps, we grappled a lot when we were on deployment, and I don't know, it's something about fighting, that physical aspect of like just surviving. That's what draw me. You know, it's like I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, what got me into it is as a kid, I loved the WWE. I had like the wrestlers, and I played the games.
I knew it.
And I remember my uncle had a trampoline, and we were on the trampoline. I would always like Batista bomb my cousins.
Dude, me too. Me and Ricky, bro.
Or like attitude adjust with them. And then once we got into the house, I would do it on the couch. And I remember so many times I heard my cousins and their parents went off on me, right? But it was fun to me. I loved it. I thought the WWE was real fighting. Then when I found out it wasn't real fighting, I was heartbroken.
It broke my heart.
Yeah, I was heartbroken.
I stopped watching ever since.
I felt like I was lied to.
Yep.
And I couldn't see it the same anymore because I realized it was fake. Like the way they hit each other, like, And then I remember when I was a kid about this Mexican fighter named Cain Velasquez. It was a very badass dude. And then one day I started watching highlights of Cain Velasquez, and then Conor McGregor highlights. And then Conor McGregor, that dude's a star. He's got charisma.
Oh,
as a man,
he loved Conor McGregor.
And look, as a man, like you can't respect him because he's an old man. He disrespected women, and he's just trashy nowadays. But back then, during his prime, he was charismatic, and I went down the UFC rabbit hole, and the professionals make it look easy and fun. And then one day I saw a video of Henry Gracie sparring Korean black belts, and I remember seeing like the white gis, the black belts, the beautiful green mats, and just something about that jiu-jitsu specifically, that it just looked so beautiful, and I wanted to do that. And it looked easy too. It's not easy. I was getting my tail whooped by like a 40-year-old dude, I remember. But it was just the glory of what it looked like and how beautiful it was. I wanted to be part of that, and I wanted to be cool originally.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's interesting. But it's crazy how all that led you to Henner and then to training.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, do you think athletic primes are determined by age or time in the sport? More of an MMA question about all combat sports in general. So, athletic primes, everybody, I guess, I would say hits their prime different, right? Some people, like they say the men's prime at 30 years old, right? I ain't even hit my prime yet. People call me old. But here's the thing. Some people peak at different points. So just because your prime is at 30, this is my 2 cents, right? It's not about time in the sport, because if you've been in the sport for 40 years and you're 50 years old or 45 years old, it doesn't matter. You're not going to beat an 18-year-old.
Well,
you
have experience.
You have experience, but you're not going to beat an 18-year-old in the same
Physically.
field. Like in UFC. It's not going to be easy it's happened. Glover Teixeira did it, right? He beat it. It was a big age difference.
Lionel Messi and then also LeBron James, he's 40.
Okay, but we're talking about MMA.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay? You're not like a brand new up-and-coming UFC guy, fight a 45-year-old former UFC fighter. That boat has shifted. He's not going to be as fast. He's not going to be as quick. He knows more. He has more experience.
What about
he's not going to land. He's not going to fight for 15 or 25 minutes. He's not going to be able to with an 18-year-old kid. So, but the primes, I think, is different for everybody. Like the man's prime's at 30. Physically, I think, okay, that makes sense. But the prime in the career, I think, is different. Because different parts of your life happen in different parts of your time, right? So you may be 22, you may hit your prime. You may be super young, that's your prime. But then you go down, you see guys come down, 1 or 2 bad fights, hard fights, they're never the same again. Mm-hmm. And they're on a losing streak. They haven't hit their prime at 30 years old yet. The prime. Okay, so I think it's different for everybody. I think it's just the prime is where kind of the climax of their career, where they're at their peak and the wind is going with their sails. You know?
And Floyd Mayweather.
But it's different. Like, did he really fight? And we're talking about MMA. MMA, you're gonna have to.
Or any combat sport.
No, MMA, you have to collide. I can't run in circles and bob and weave and touch you 1 time or 2 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to collide.
I think I'm not an MMA fighter, so I'm not gonna say about MMA. But as an avid fan of MMA, watching the UFC, I have seen that if by your late 20s you're not in the UFC and you're not in the rankings by your late 20s, it's very hard for it to happen for you. You know, to be able to get to that big stage, which is everybody's dream, to hold the UFC title. All the guys, when they start their run, they're like 25 and up, right? And then they achieve it either late 20s, early 30s. That's when you see guys. And if guys that aren't at that age range, they have it very hard. From what I've seen as a spectator of the sport.
You're seeing them at 18 now, intern. 18, 19, 20, they're going to UFC. What are you going to do with that kid?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If in 5 years you have more experience than the guys that been fighting for years, you know, because he can fight 3-4 times a year because he's so young and he can recover. So it's getting wild. And jiu-jitsu is the same way. Like, you're seeing these young guys go in at 18 or 19, they're already black belts.
Yeah.
In the adult division. So they have 10 years at the adult division. They're going to win an adult world title, most likely.
Yeah.
You know, he has the time and experience to have a chance at it, rather than a guy that enters at 25 to 30, adult black belt level, and fights at 18, 19-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we're at. So that's an interesting topic. I think it's different, but, I mean, the youth is always on your side in combat sports and MMA. It's going to be. The time and experience obviously is good, but the youth is, you can't pay that. You can't train youth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's what I think, Aaron flipping. What are other topics we got?
I want to say is, do you think, and just to stay in this realm, right? Do you think that nowadays, with the way jiu-jitsu has evolved, do you think you become like, can you reach like the highest levels unless you started as a young kid?
There's always an exception, right? There's always exceptions to everything, right? I like to believe there's always a chance, right? Mind power, mindset, right? But the truth is that window is closing. because the level of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is just a different animal, okay? You have a kid like his name, they call him King. He's like 13-year-old, 12-year-old orange belt.
You're from AOJ?
He's at AOJ now.
Okay.
He's a 6-time Pan Am world champion. Kid's Pan Am world champion 6 times already. What are you going to do with that kid at 18 years old?
That's crazy.
And he's training with Tynan. You know what I'm saying? All the time. He's at AOJ. Like, what are you going to do with him when he turns 18 and he enters the adult division?
Yeah.
He's going to play with everybody. For the most part.
What'd you say? I'm going to keep a taser in my gi.
You know what I'm saying? I tell guys, I joke around, I'm going to keep a taser in my gi for these guys. You know what I mean? Like, and he's not the only one. He's not the only one. There's so many kids in Brazil that nobody even knows about. They don't even have an opportunity. Give them an opportunity and see what happens. Because they're training in a garage, in a small gym, day and night, all day, every day, doing jiu-jitsu to run away from the hardships of life. What are you going to do with the kid like that? That's trained that's had 10,000 reps before he was 18. Before he was 18. You know, he started at 4. At AOJ, they start at 3, 4 years old. They have kids that go homeschool just to do that. Okay, so let's exaggerate. Like Guy and Rafa Mendes' kids. They just won Pan Ams. Guy's son is 6 years old. He's already competed like 8 to 10 times this year. And I think he gold medaled all of them. He's 6 years old, bro. Gray and white belt, 6-year-old. In 12 years, he's going to be 18. So he has 13, 14 years of experience minimum, official years, right, in the academy. He's been training since he was born in the hospital. They threw a gi on him, right? What are you going to do with that kid at 18? He has 12 to 14 years of experience already. You know what I mean? So I tell people, like, I believe that in 5 or 10 years, it's like specifically at IBJJF, is like the IBJJF Open. Forget the big tournaments. Because you go to a big tournament, IBJJF already knows, for the most part, obviously, just fight math. And fight math doesn't always add up. They already know who's going to win the division.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if Tynan's the division, most okay, he's going to win the division. It's obvious. There may be one more other guy that might beat him. That happened 2 years ago at Worlds, right? Not this last year he got DQ'd, but the year before. Dude beat him. Okay? But they know who's going to win. The other 45 guys are just there to be the 45 guys in the division.
Yeah.
And so the IBJJF Open, what I predict in 5 to 10 years, is like you're going to look at an IBJJF Open division, like a Birmingham or something. There's going to be 6 guys, and like 1 or 2 guys are going to clear the division. For sure, because he's already had 14, 15 years of experience.
Yeah.
Now, you have an opportunity to beat him. This is jiu-jitsu. It's a chess. He makes the wrong move. You catch him. Boom. Done. But I think it's going to be at that level to the point where, like, IBJJF is going to be like, either you're a big dog or you're not.
Yeah.
You're just going for a participation.
Yeah. Now, do you think kids like that should be in their own division? Like, all right, bro, you've been doing this 10 plus.
Man, so we've talked about this. Ben has asked me about this in, I think, Vegas when we were there. And this is hard, right? I think there has to be some change. I mean, this hurts your ego to say this. But it hurts your ego to say this, right? Like, you don't even want to talk about it. But this is a reality check. Like, this is real. This is not something like... I think what they may have to do is, like, 2 things that you can do, right? Is... That's fine. It's 2 things you can do. You can either break it up by, like, time. Okay, you've been training... You're an 18, 19-year-old black belt. You've been training for 14 years. So maybe 10 to 14 years, 10, 15 years black belt experience. There's a new division. This is going to be hard because some people don't have proof. In IBJJF, you're going to have to show proof, right? You're a part of the system. But this is going to be hard, I think, to organize. Or what they can do is, because at the same time, like the 18-year-old black belt and a 28, 25, 27-year-old, but it's not the same. The 18-year-old is like a hot pocket, hot and ready. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's full of energy. He doesn't get tired. He'll go 10-minute rounds and be fine. Mm-hmm. So what I think is they need to do like 18 to 21, you know, 22 to 24, 25, and like 25 to 30, something like that.
Okay.
You know, or 2-year increments. That may help a little bit. But still, like, if you're 25 and you're a black belt and you started at 16 you're still going against a guy that started at 4 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crazy. What do you think, Ben? What do you think about the level of sport?
It's kind of discouraging, for guys who start at a late age, and then you're gonna have to compete for guys who've been training for 10 years. And it's like, damn, do I even have hope? Is this even worth the time and the effort of like achieving it? Do I even have somewhat of a chance? Like, I mean, even though you do have chances, like, is it like in a single digit, like 1%, 10%, 9%, whatever it is? But I don't know. I like to stay optimistic. So I like to believe that hard work will always outtrain talent. So let's say if you have talent and hard work, you be unstoppable. And I mean, Coach Mo helped me out. Like when I first started as a white belt, I would be like, I don't care, I'm gonna take everybody's heads. And now when he warned me about blue belt, and then I took a downfall mentally. I'm like, damn, the skill gap is so tremendous. And it's still me trying to figure out the gap, and it's still going. I'm like, damn, this thing doesn't stop. The tunnel doesn't stop. Like,
yeah.
I'm going through a tunnel right now. Okay, maybe it's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like maybe okay. This skill cap stop here. Maybe now I can gauge how to attack this accordingly. But that motherfucker is still going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't. I don't know how to attack this. I don't want to go in there without a goal. Attacking a goal, aim headlessly, But Mo helped me out a little bit. Like, hey man, it's just put in the work, and he believed in me, so it helped me retain back of that aggressive mindset of like just taking people's head off. But this is just more strategically, I guess. But it's ridiculous. I told him, I complain to him all the time. It hurts my ego when I bring it up, and I was like, I know this is not. I'm not letting this to be excuse, but it just sucks. I'm just complaining about it because I can't control it. It just sucks that I have to go against a person who's been training 10 years, and I feel like they should be at a higher level that they need to be. There's no way if you train for 10 years plus and you're a blue belt. There's no way that you should be at this level.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how it is. Even with maybe purple, brown, you should I don't know, you should have a tournament where you have to
IBJJF JV.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
Dude, it's like it's just ridiculous, right? And or maybe change the like.
This is a hard answer. Because like, okay, you got a black belt like Zach Kynan, whatever his last name is. Like, I fought him at nationals. Kid's been training since he's 8. Went through all his kids' belts. Is a black belt, but he's a black belt. I'm a black belt. What are you gonna say? Oh, I separate this black belt from this black belt. Like, what can you do in that situation?
True.
That's the problem. Most of these kids, we're gonna start seeing a lot of 17-year-old black belts. We may even start seeing 16-year-old black belts. That's what's gonna happen. And the IBJJF is gonna have to change their rules. Minimum 18, 19-year-old black belt. They're gonna have to change it.
Well, I think it should be fine then, because it's 10 years versus 10 years.
Yeah.
Black belt. And I mean, sure, age play a part, but I think that's with every sport. Sorry. I think that's with every sport. That should be fine. But experience should always be the closer, I think. If you have 10 years of experience, you're in a 10 years experience group.
Yep.
That's just my opinion.
I think we'll see what plays out. What other topics y'all think we should hit? Something hot, because we're out of time pretty much.
Something hot.
I don't know.
Shoot. If the election's going up, what if something
okay,
hit the fan?
Somebody I know just somebody I know that posted this.
What about Craig Jones' invitation?
And, I think it's a good idea. I think it's messed up. He's doing it on the same day as ADCC.
I think he's setting a point though.
I think he is too, but I'm like, our sport, our art is still growing.
Well, if you want something to be promoted, you doing a different day is not going to put pressure on that organization. What he's doing right now is to better the pay for athlete.
Yeah.
You know, so it
I mean,
brings more people in.
I don't think it's necessarily wrong, right? But I don't like the confrontation in this business. That's business. Who gives a damn? It's business versus business. Right?
I mean,
but I think that we need to build up each other so we can grow the art first instead of
unity.
butting heads. Like we don't have tournaments every week in every city, every state. We don't have jiu-jitsu on a scale where you can watch it. I mean, kind of on live TV, where the world watches like NBA. We're not there yet. You know, so that's a tough one.
we're never gonna be there if the pay's never there.
Which
And he talked to the CEO of ADC all the time, like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, but he doesn't reply. So that's the course of action that he took.
yeah, man, I can see where it's coming from. You know, this is my
I think Craig Jones is the biggest troll, man.
He is. He
It's
is.
hilarious, but Jesus.
Gio, you got anything else?
No.
So somebody posted this, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. He's a pretty successful entrepreneur, and I don't know. He's obviously when entrepreneurs do this, they're trying to figure some business thing out. And he said, "What's the desired situation of a man that you truly dream of?" So obviously, unless you guys like men, you can't answer that question, right?
Yeah, I can't answer.
And so he put 30s, 40s. Like, what is your desired situation of a man? So for you guys, what do you desire out of a woman?
To be respectful and loving, traditional values. Does not degenerate, you know. Doesn't like show her body off.
Modest.
Modest. Hey, she's just loyal. You know, that's the biggest thing. If you're a woman, or you're a human being, not just a woman, you're a human being and you're not loyal, that's just disgusting, you know.
Loyalty. Everybody have a price.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, bro.
I do think
Stop lying. Y'all over here talking about the most craziest conspiracy. And y'all talking about, I don't believe everybody have a number. Get the hell out of here.
You got a number on you?
I'm a fair man.
Huh?
there you go.
Hey, wait.
$100 million.
Wait,
$100 million.
Wait, it depends on which situation.
We will block Chris from seeing this.
Huh? From what? No, that's what I'm talking about. Which situation? Because you can say $1 million to suck some, to do something crazy.
God bless him.
You know what I mean? Versus you're gonna cheat. No, I'm not gonna do that. Right? I'm a man of honor and integrity. But if you say, I give you $10,000 to jump off of a bridge or something, you know, great, like something stupid like that. You know, of course there's gonna be some malice things, but you know, stuff like that.
I don't know, man. I think 99% of the people do have a price, but like the other day I was able to finally put in words. Like the reason why I wouldn't like take those numbers because, as Mo knows, like we get political and I judge the politicians a lot and I say how nasty it is that they sell the country. They sell because they're corrupt, right? So if I take that money, right, the 100 millions or whatever, do whatever, I'm no better than them. Yeah. I'm just a hypocrite if I judge them for being corrupt, but I'm willing to do the same thing.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Agreed. But yeah, I'm the same thing with Gio. I'm a firm believer with loyalty, someone genuine, you know.
So what was the thing?
Huh?
About you said the dude, right? Or that was
it. I don't know. Like he just asked that question, obviously. But
something that we desire out of a woman,
out of a man. He said. So which I think this is interesting, right?
So I mean, we want a man.
So no. He's asking this to women. But what do you desire out of a man? I asked you guys. Obviously, you're not interested in a woman. So I'm getting to the point of this. We've seen the videos of like So we're gonna close it out with this, right? But it's always, I feel like it's one sided. Like you said, like loyal. You know, biggest thing for me is like loyalty. Protect your honor and loyalty. That's it. That's all I ask. Nothing else, right? But when you see women, they ask women. Like he asked women. I didn't read the comments, right?
Let me see.
Okay, say you're a woman. Say you're a woman.
Okay.
What do you desire out of a man?
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so, what do you see most of the time? Is 6'2".
We can't do that. We still have views as a man.
You know, he got to be 6'2". He got to make 6 figures a year, right? What else they say?
They say it's a 4 6s. It's 6 feet,
Oh,
6 figures, 6 pack, and 6+ down there.
Yeah. So this is what this woman said: a higher paying career in healthcare than the one I have. Okay, shut your tail up. The cost of education outweighed the benefits. That makes sense. Living life on purpose and not concerned about finances. That doesn't make sense to me either. Like, I feel like the man has to provide financially, right? I'm not going to put a number on it. And
I think that is
so
all
this
objective.
one says having someone to share life with that supplies you with genuine support. Adhering to a routine will boost confidence. Where are you coming from? But my man gonna sign.
I'm only dating a man who has a credit score of 800 plus.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people ask for. It's like 6'2", you know, the 4 6s, like you said.
6'2",
6'2", you know, a lot of money, 800 credits. Like, this is what you see a lot. Now, this is on Facebook and some college girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what do you think? Like, what do you say with that? Because guess what? How many people are making? What did you tell me? You told me a figure the other day. Like, how many people are making 6 figures right now?
I forgot, but I think it was like over 80% are not making 6 figures.
Over 80%, okay, roughly, are not making 6 figures. So like you knocked out 80% of the guys. But my quote, and we'll close it out with this. We're gonna get hot real quick. Is okay. You're asking for all of this, but what do you got to offer?
What you bringing to the table?
That's what I'm saying. What
see
are you
burnt
bringing?
toast in the corner of your Instagram feed. Like, you don't even know how to wash laundry.
You got a link in your Instagram feed.
the what's it called? Please cash at me. I'm begging for money.
Dude, that's crazy. I see that.
That's crazy. Hey, it's my birthday. Y'all give me like money.
Dude. But like my point is, like, what do you got to offer?
I think men enable that as well.
I think now, yeah, men are enabling that because they flaunt and they try to buy.
Yep.
You know, they try to buy the girl. They try to buy that to get attention. Mm-hmm. You know? So what do you guys say to that?
I think that we go back to the side has been degenerate, and with the degeneracy comes.
Yeah, I love the word degenerate.
With the degeneracy, nothing describes it better. With the degeneracy is people become materialistic, and they do not focus on things that are worth the value. There's all these women, right? They want to get with the basketball player. They want to get with this, with that, and that, and that, right? And They get him with the money, right? Oh my God, he ended up being a piece of shit, whatever. Like, okay, you just looked at the money. You just looked at how will this improve my lifestyle. Now, am I gonna find a religious man, a man with values, a man that will provide me, that loves me for I am?
Yeah.
You know, there's an example. This is the last thing I'll say. This is an example. Like, have you seen the movie Madagascar when they went to Africa? Uh-huh. There was this hippo, right, Moto, and there was
I like them big,
right? And it was a female hippopotamus, right? And a giraffe like that female, right? He knew everything about her, how she liked to eat, what she liked to eat and everything, right? How she liked her eggs and breakfast, whatever. So he knew everything about her, right? And Moto went up to her. He was built strong. He was like a Chad, right? He was like, you look so plumpy, right? People were saying she was thick, right? And eventually they were together. They were dating. And he was like, what do you like about me? And he was like, well, you're plumpy. You're like, what else? You're like, well, you're plumpy, right? And then she didn't like him, right? And I was telling my girlfriend the other day, like, I told her that, right? And she didn't get the message. She understood. The moral of the story is she went with the wrong guy and then got offended, right? That when the good guy wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right? The guy that was meant for her, she ignored him. Because why? He didn't feel the quote unquote, like, he didn't feel her standards. Mm-hmm. And guess what? That guy don't want you for who you really are. That simple, you know? And I got that from a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. And they want to boycott Disney.
All right, guys. I could have kept going, but we got to teach some jiu-jitsu, some kiddos. So I hate to kind of cut it short. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, right? We were all over the place today. But we'll be doing this more often. We're going to try to do this monthly. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think in when we post this, guys. So in the story, reply, DM, whatever. Like, we want to know your thoughts too. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed episode 23, Chilling with the Boys Talk. And please like, share, subscribe, and help us out so we can get more out there so people can see our content. All right? Like always, guys, sharpen your swords. You got mental. You got two swords. One mental, one physical, guys. Sharpen them every day so you can get better for yourself, for your family, and for your community and your country. All right? Have a great day. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next episode of Sharpen Your Sword podcast. Peace out.